Bear, Bayer, Bach, Brackett, Buckner-Webb, Cameron, Davis, Durst, Fulcher, Getty, Guthrie, Hagedorn, Hyder, Hill, Johnson, Kenyon, Keogh, Lacey, Lakey, Lodge, McKenzie, Mortimer, Nonini, Nuxel, Patrick, Pierce, Rice, Schmidt, Sidaway, Stennett, Thane, Tippett, Vick, Work, Winder, Bayer, Bach, Brackett, Cameron, Fulcher, Keogh, Lodge, Pierce, Rice,
Roll call shows 28 present, 7 absent, excused. Senator Rice has an excused absent. A quorum being present, the Senate is in order. Senate will advance to the second order of business, prayer by Chaplain James Weberding and Pledge of Allegiance. We'd ask our friends in the gallery to rise and join us in prayer.
Happy Valentine's Day. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, on this day in which our nation celebrates the joy of human love, I pray that this group of good senators can enjoy some of that celebration. By this point in the session, I am sure that they are feeling a little bit ragged, maybe run down. The pressure is increasing as the issues continue to be debated, and more and more public interest puts pressure on their lives. I just pray that you will give them that shot of joy today as the nation celebrates. And also that you will do the same for our good Senate President and for our pages and Senate staff, and that this will just be one of those days that's a bit re-energizing for this group. Thank you. I pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. We'll now be led in the Pledge of Allegiance by our page, Chase Tolman. Chase.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Senate will advance third order of business, reading and corrections to the journal.
February 14th, 2013, the Judiciary and Rules Committee reports that the Senate Journal of the proceedings of February 13th, 2013 was read and approved as corrected. Lodge Chairman.
The journal will be filed in the office of the Secretary. Senator Davis.
Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent. Senate goes without the chair.
Without objection, Senate be at ease. Did we advance yet? We're still at 3. Senate will come to order. Prior to going to Senate's third order of business. Senate's at third order of business. Senator Davis.
Mr. President, personal privilege, if I may.
You have the floor.
Mr. President, Senators, we have an ambitious morning. We've got a little work in 6 and 9. We'll go to first and second reading and read those bills. Then it's my intent to take us back to the 10th order of business. I do want to report to you that at this time I intend to hold both concurrent resolutions for a day or two or more. We'll be holding one of the gubernatorial appointments, but it is our intent to pick up the last 3 that you see in the 10th order of business. And so if you'll be prepared on those. Once we finish the 10th order of business, we intend to go at ease for the purpose of graduating our pages, our first half pages this year. Upon the completion of that work, then we intend to go to the amending order and pick up the legislation that is subject to your consideration on amendment. After we have completed that, if we still have time, and I hope we do, it is our intent to go to the 13th order of business and start to work on the bills in the third reading calendar. I have been asked what our intent is regarding Senate Bill 1042. It is not our intent to pick up Senate Bill 1042 either today or tomorrow. We hope to be able to report to you by the first of the week the time frame in the management of that issue. But I did want you to be aware of that. With that, Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent to advance to the 6th order of business.
Prior to advancing, Senators Brackett and Senators Lodge will be recorded present at the 3rd order of business. Senate's at the 6th order of business. Reports to standing committees.
The Judiciary and Rules Committee reports that Senate Bill 1101, 1102, 1103, 1104, and Senate Bill 1105 have been correctly printed. Lodge Chairman.
Senate Bills 1101, 1102, 1103, and 1104 will be referred to the Finance Committee. Senate Bill 1105 will be referred to the State Affairs Committee.
February 13, 2013, the Judiciary and Rules Committee reports that enrolled Senate Concurrent Resolution 101 was delivered to the Office of the Secretary of State at noon, February 13, 2013. Lodge Chairman.
Report will be filed in the Office of the Secretary.
February 13, 2013, the Finance Committee reports out House Bill 115 and recommend that it do pass. Cameron Chairman.
House Bill 115 will be referred to the 12th order of business, second reading.
February 13, 2013, the Resources and Environment Committee reports out House Bill 40 and Senate Bill 1049 and recommend that they do pass. Pierce Chairman.
House Bill 40 and Senate Bill 1049 will be referred to the 12th order of business, second reading.
February 13, 2013, the Education Committee reports out Senate Bill 1055 and recommend that it do pass. Getty Chairman.
Senate Bill 1055 will be referred to the 12th order of business, second reading.
There is no further business in the 6th order, Mr. President.
Senator Davis.
President, I ask unanimous consent to advance to the 9th order of business.
Objection. Senate advance to the 9th order of business. Messages from the House. Senate's at the 9th order of business.
February 13, 2013, Mr. President, I transmit herewith House Bill 55, 54, 48, 49, 122, and House Bill 123, which have passed the House. Alexander, Chief Clerk.
House Bills 44, 54, 48, 49, 122, and 123 will be referred to the 11th order of business for introduction.
There is no further business in the 9th order, Mr.
Senator
President.
Bayer will be recorded present at this order of business. Senate will advance 10th order of business. Motions, resolutions. Senate's at the 10th order of business. Senator Davis.
Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent that House Concurrent Resolution number 4 hold its place on the legislative calendar until February 26th.
Hearing no objection, so ordered.
Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent that House Concurrent Resolution number 2 hold its place on the legislative calendar until Monday, February the 18th. May I explain?
You may.
Thank you, Mr. President. That date is symbolic and important to the concurrent resolution, and we would like the Senate to consider it on that day.
Hearing no objection, HCR 2 will hold its place until the 18th.
Mr. President,
Senator Davis.
Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent that the gubernatorial appointment of David A. McCluskey to the State Board of Correction hold its place on this calendar in this order of business for one legislative day. May I explain?
You may.
Mr. President, good senators, it is a preparation and information issue.
The report of the Judiciary and Rules Committee, hearing no objection, will hold its place on the calendar. Senate now has for final consideration the report of the Commerce and Human Resources Committee on the appointment of Jody Olson to the Public Employee Retirement Fund. Secretary will read the report.
February 12, 2013, the Commerce and Human Resources Committee reports it has had under consideration the gubernatorial appointment of Jody Olson to the Public Employee Retirement System of Idaho, term to expire July 1, 2017. The committee recommends that said appointment be confirmed by the Senate. Tippit's chairman.
Senator Keogh will be recorded present at this order of business. Senator Buckner Webb.
Mr. President, I move that the Senate adopt the committee report.
Senator Stennett.
I second the motion.
Been moved and seconded. Senate adopt the committee report. Senator Buckner Webb is recognized to open debate on the committee report.
Mr. President, I'm pleased to bring to the Senate floor today Jody Olson for your consideration of his reappointment to the Board of the Public Employee Retirement System of Idaho. His term to be July 1, 2012 to July 1, 2017. An Idaho native, Jody Olson is well known and a highly respected member of the Treasure Valley community. He's a graduate of the University of Idaho and Lewis and Clark Law School. He is a certified public accountant and a lawyer. Mr. Olson is of counsel with Hawley Troxell Innes and Hawley, Idaho's oldest and largest law firm. His educational background, professional credentials, commitment, and experience come together to present him as an exceptional selection for this appointment. His distinguished professional experience includes over 20 years with Trust Joyce, an Idaho-based specialty building products company where he served in numerous capacities, ultimately holding the position of Vice President of Corporate Development. Secretary of the Board of Trust Joyce McMillan, a limited partnership with Canadian Forest Products leader Macmillan Bodell, and Chairman of the Board of Norco Windows and of Outlook Window Partnership. Mr. Olson's dedication to public service is vast and admirable. He serves the community in a broad range of endeavors, both in the for-profit and nonprofit arenas. Chairman of the Finance and Investment Committee of St. Alphonsus Hospital Foundation, Board of Directors and Investment Committee of the University of Idaho Foundation, Board of Directors of Medical Discoveries, Inc., Board member of the Council of Institutional Investors. In the past, Mr. Olson has served on the Boise Area Chamber of Commerce, Idaho Association of Commerce and Industry, Boise School Foundation, FUNSI, and the list goes on and on. Most notable, Mr. Olson has served on the Public Employees Retirement System Board for 25 years by the appointment of 5 governors. He has served as chairman of the board for many years. Percy board member Kirk Sullivan shares, and I quote, "Jody is a leader of the highest caliber. He is a proven leader who strives to maximize return to participants. His goal is to, whenever possible, make our retirees whole. I'm honored to bring Jody Olson to you today and urge your aye vote for approval of his reappointment to the Public Employees Retirement System of Idaho Board." Debate is open.
Paving opens for further debate on the report of the Commerce and Human Resources Committee. Hearing no further debate, Senator Buckner Webb is recognized to close debate.
Debate is closed, Mr. President.
Debate being closed, the question is still the Senate adopt the report of the Commerce and Human Resources Committee on the appointment of Jody Olson to the Public Employee Retirement Fund. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed nay. The ayes have it. The report has been adopted and the governor will be so notified. The Senate now has for final consideration the report of the Commerce and Human Resources Committee on the appointment of Steve Landon to the State Insurance Fund Board. The Secretary will read the report.
February 12, 2013, the Commerce and Human Resources Committee reports it has had under consideration the gubernatorial appointment of Steve Landon to the State Insurance Fund Board, term to expire April 30, 2016. The committee recommends that said appointment be confirmed by the Senate. Tippit's chairman.
Mr. President.
Senator Getty.
Mr. President, I move that the Senate adopt the committee report.
Senator Wirt. Been moved and
I
seconded.
second the motion.
Been moved and seconded. The Senate adopt the committee report. Senator Getty is recognized to open debate on the committee report.
Thank you, Mr. President. Fellow members, Steve Landon is an employee of the J.R. Simplot Company in Pocatello. He's been a lifelong resident of Idaho and a Pocatello resident. He's been elected or appointed to as an official on Local 632 in the Simplot plant for the last 43 years. And he served as president of a regional council that includes the 9 western states, Alaska, and Hawaii. He has extensive experience with handling various forms of workers' compensation. I've served on that board with him for the past 4 years, and he's done an excellent job. I urge the appointment. With that, debate is open.
For the debate on the committee report. Hearing no further debate, Senator Getty is recognized to close debate.
Thank you, Mr. President. Debate is closed.
Debate being closed. Question is, will the Senate adopt the report of the Commerce and Human Resources Committee on the appointment of Steve Landon to the State Insurance Fund Board? All in favor say aye. All opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The report has been adopted, and the governor will be so notified. The Senate now has the report of the Local Government Taxation Committee on the appointment of Ken Roberts to the State Tax Commission. Secretary will read the report.
February 12, 2013, the Local Government and Taxation Committee reports it has had under consideration the gubernatorial appointment of Ken Roberts to the State Tax Commission, term to expire April 1, 2013. The committee recommends that said appointment be confirmed by the Senate. Sit away, Chairman.
Senator Johnson.
Mr. President, I move that the Senate adopt the committee report.
Senator Schmidt.
Mr. President, I second that motion.
Been moved and seconded that the Senate adopt the committee report. Senator Johnson is recognized to open debate on the committee report.
Thank you, Mr. President. Most of us know Ken Roberts. He served in the House of Representatives for the state of Idaho for 12 years, served on the Tax Committee, the Revenue and Tax Committee over there, several other committees that he served on, member of the Economic and Outlook Revenue Projection Committee, member of Transportation and Defense Committee, Ways and Means, chairman of Council of State Governments, West River Governance Council. He's worked in his hometown area of Donnelly, been a member of several organizations there, the Gold Fork Irrigation Company, Valley County Planning and Zoning, McCall Donnelly School Board member. He's been an owner-operator in a family farm there for over 30 years and also in a construction company. Ken has volunteered his time generously in his community, serving with the Valley County 4-H Fair, the Donnelly Rural Fire Department, and the Donnelly Volunteer Fire EMT and Firemen. Ken has received much recognition over his career, a Star News Community Service Award, Farm Bureau Friend of Agriculture Award, Co-op Outstanding Legislature of the Year. Ken claims that he took a major role in the Tax Relief Act of 2006 here in the state legislature and also sponsored other key legislation. Ken has expressed an interest in representing the taxpayers fairly in his position, his new appointed position, and he also looks forward to changes that we may make to the tax code as our economy changes with that too. So Ken is a very highly qualified individual. He's a personal friend, and I would recommend an aye for him. Thank you. Debate is open.
Debate being open. Is there further debate on the committee report? Hearing no further debate, Senator Johnson is recognized to close debate.
Thank you, Mr. President. Debate is closed.
Debate being closed. Question is, will the Senate adopt the report of the Local Government Taxation Committee on the appointment of Ken Roberts to the State Tax Commission? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed nay. The ayes have it. The report has been adopted, and the governor will be so notified.
There is no further business in the 10th order, Mr. President.
Senate advance the 11th order of business. Introduction, first reading of bills. Senator Davis.
Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent that all bills on first reading be read by number, author, and title only, and the journal show they've been read at length.
Without objection, so ordered.
In the House of Representatives, House Bill number 55 by State Affairs Committee, an act relating to the Idaho Telephone Solicitation Act, to provide that it is not a violation of the provisions of this section for a telephone solicitation to be made by or on behalf of a business having an existing or established business relationship with an Idaho residential subscriber. In the House of Representatives, House Bill number 54 by State Affairs Committee, an act relating to insurance producers, to define a term to provide that producers may participate in a health insurance exchange. In the House of Representatives, House Bill number 48 by Resources and Conservation Committee, an act relating to injunction wells, to provide that the Director of the Department of Water Resources shall require good and sufficient security as a condition of every Class II injunction well permit. In the House of Representatives, House Bill number 49 by Resources and Conservation Committee, an act relating to injection wells, to define Class II injection well. In the House of Representatives, House Bill number 122 by Appropriations Committee, an act appropriating additional monies to the Soil and Water Conservation Commission for fiscal year 2013. In the House of Representatives, House Bill number 123 by Appropriations Committee, an act appropriating additional monies to the Lava Hot Springs Foundation for fiscal year 2013.
Senator Cameron will be recorded present at the 11th order of business. House Bill 55 will be referred to the State Affairs Committee. House Bill 54 will be referred to Commerce and Human Resources. House Bills 48 and 49 will be referred to the Resources and Environment Committee, and House Bills 122 and 123 will be referred to the Finance Committee.
There is no further business in the 11th order, Mr. President.
Advance 12th order of business, second reading of bills. Senator Davis.
Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent that all bills on second reading be read by number and author only, and the journal show they've been read at length.
Without objection, so ordered.
In the Senate, Senate Bill number 1031 by Commerce and Human Resources Committee. In the House of Representatives, House Bill number 87 by Revenue and Taxation Committee. In the House of Representatives, House Bill number 39 by Transportation and Defense Committee. In the House of Representatives, House Bill number 41 by Health and Welfare Committee. In the House of Representatives, House Bill number 85 by Transportation and Defense Committee. In the Senate, Senate Bill number 1050 by Transportation Committee. In the House of Representatives, House Bill number 32 by Health and Welfare Committee. In the House of Representatives, House Bill number 33 by Health and Welfare Committee. In the House of Representatives, House Bill number 35 by Health and Welfare Committee. In the House of Representatives, House Bill number 36 by Health and Welfare Committee. In the Senate, Senate Bill number 1028 by Education Committee. In the Senate, Senate Bill number 1076 by Finance Committee. In the Senate, Senate Bill number 1077 by Finance Committee.
Senate Bill 1031, House Bill 87, 39, 41, 85, Senate Bill 1050, House Bills 32, 33, 35, 36, Senate Bills 1028, 1076, 1077 will all be referred to the 13th order of business, third reading calendar.
There is no further business in the 12th order, Mr. President.
Senator Davis.
Ask unanimous consent, Senate return to the 10th order of business.
Without objection, the Senate will return to the 10th order of business. Senate's at the 10th order of business. Senator Davis.
Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent that the Senate go at ease for the purpose of graduating the first half pages to the Idaho State Senate and for such other tomfoolery that may occur.
Hearing no objection, Senate will be at ease. Subject to call the chair.
Mr. President, while we're waiting for tomfoolery,
Senator Schmidt.
Ask the indulgence to make an introduction.
You have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President. So it's been 3 years here and gotten to know many of you, and it's been pleasant, and I've told many stories, but I would like you to meet my wife, who is in the gallery today. She came down from the Palouse. Please welcome my wife, Martha.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Okay, we're ready. I'd like to introduce our graduating pages for the first half of 2013. They have been wonderful. We have just appreciated them so much. No trouble with them at all, haven't we? It's been great. First, we have Ivy Christofferson. She's from Pocatello. Do you want to come across, Ivy? Ivy, I'd like to pass on a little bit of information about her. She plays basketball, tennis, and golf. She's a ballet dancer and teaches ballet and hip hop to little children. She plays the piano and sings, and she plans on going to college and studying health care, possibly to become a dietitian and a personal trainer. She's been taking AP Government and a personal finance math class. She is involved with student leadership and has been to football training camp and competed with all the boys. Does that surprise you? She was born deaf in one ear, but she hears exceptionally well out of her other ear. She has a younger brother and sister. Ivy. Okay. Our next page is Taylor Davis, and she is from Nampa. And she knows how to do judo, and she likes to golf and snowboard. She likes to read, and her favorite book is Lies My Teacher Told Me. She likes to watch sci-fi movies, and her current favorite is The Hobbit. She sings in her school choir and is involved in student government. Emma is amazing. She's a little bit surprising. She loves ballroom dancing, and her favorites are the swing, the waltz, and the triple step swing. She is involved in FFA, and she has a horse and a pig. She says that the pig is easier. She's been heavily influenced by her biology teacher, and she knows exactly where she's going in life. She's involved with the school's forestry team, soils team, and environmental team. In international competition. She's participated in a fish project with the Idaho Fish and Game and has worked with the BLM through her school studying bugs. She gets most excited about soils. She will go to Rocky Mountain College in Billings, Montana to study environmental studies with a minor in archaeology. And Emma is from Gooding. Next, we have Jessica. Jessica has a yellow belt in karate. She's a backstage manager for a theater team. She likes to cross-country ski, do gymnastics, and dance. She's a state officer for Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America. She's also involved in competitive debate. She'll study political science or event planning in college. Jessica is from Louisville. Next, we have Maddie McDaniel, and she's a Boise girl who keeps telling me she's from Meridian, which confuses me a little bit because she lives in my neighborhood. She attends Centennial High School in Meridian. That's where she gets the Meridian thing. She plays volleyball and is the vice president of Centennial's HASA program specializing in sports medicine. She likes math and science, and she works at Famous Dave's as a hostess. After high school graduation, she will attend Utah State and major in human body movement and development. She would like to become a physician's assistant and specialize in ear, nose, and throat. She's currently taking an EMT class and will be a certified EMT in a couple of weeks. She would like to find a job as a medical assistant in a hospital when she completes her certification. Maddie. Brooks is also one of my neighbors. He's the Boise Meridian, whatever it is. He attends Centennial High School. In the summers, he works on a 500-acre family farm in Delta, Utah, where they grow hay and corn and raise cows. When he graduates from high school, he plans to attend Utah State, go on an LDS mission, study biology, and become an ER doctor. His hobbies are skiing, mountain biking, mountain and dirt biking, running, basketball, and tennis, and he is an Eagle Scout. Okay. Next, we have Austin Patelin, and Austin is from Dalton Gardens, and he has his own mountain that he likes to hike on. That would be so wonderful. And there's also a mountain named after his grandfather on Kodiak Island in Alaska, Mountain Patelin. And he has been student body president for 2 years. He likes to hang out with his family and is involved in church youth groups. He's looking at going to college at NNU. He's been over there checking them out to see if he likes them, and would like to study politics, government law, and English.
Thanks, Sarah.
Next we have Michael Swanson, and he is from Rigby, and he's a very interesting person. He goes to a Montessori school, and they're very, very intellectual, and he reads books that most of us don't, we don't think they're so fun to read. But he had 2 sisters who were here as pages before, and he's visited the legislature a lot of times, and he really thought it would be something that he would like to do. He plays the piano and guitar, and he runs cross country and competes in track. And he, like I said, he likes political philosophy books. He enjoys fishing and hiking and traveling with the Boy Scouts in Canada. After he serves the mission for his church, he would like to go to college and major in political science or business. But this is interesting. He owns his own business. He has a crepe and funnel cake business, and at the fairs and the 4th of July celebrations, that kinds of things, he whips out the crepes and the funnel cakes, and we were hoping he would do that for us, but I haven't seen any yet. Michael. Thank you. Okay. Chase is from Bancroft, and this is very interesting about him. He goes to a school that is K through 12, and he moved there when he was a little bit older, but most of his friends have been to that very same school the whole time. And he's very involved in track. He likes to do the hurdles, high jumps, the 100, 200, and 300-meter runs. He's played the violin for 8 years and has even played the violin in an orchestra in Utah. He plays the guitar and a little piano. He's big into photography, and he likes to draw. He is a DJ for small parties and dances and school dances and things like that. And he's also a sports DJ for North Gem High School, and he's been involved in student government for 4 years, along with FFA, choir, and drama. He loves to dirt bike and race. He'll go on a mission in June, and then he wants to come back and study law and political science, and he hopes to get his doctorate, and he wants to live anywhere that's warm. Now, we've heard from Megan. She's an excellent pianist. She has been taking piano for 14 years. Is that right? And she has even had the opportunity of playing with John Schmidt, if you know anything about his music. She also is very athletic. She likes to play tennis and volleyball, and she runs and lifts weights. She wants to study criminology at Weber State, and she wants to be a CIA agent. Isn't that interesting? Megan. They now have a presentation for you. We'd like to thank them for coming and helping us out. They've been our legs, and they run for us, and they keep track of things for us. It's very, very wonderful thing that they've done for us. And we'd like to thank their parents and their schools for sharing them with us. They will have their presentation now. Thank you.
One more second.
And do these have to be on?
The speaker's on. No? It'll make noise now. Mute on?
You can go to the other video. Come back to this one.
There we go.
The past 6 weeks have been fantastic. I'll never forget the first.
One more time. Thank you for this opportunity. I will miss everyone here.
These past 6 weeks have been fantastic. I'll never forget the first thing I was asked to do was to move piano into the chambers. It's been a lot of fun and full of surprises.
I know I don't talk a lot, but I just wanted to thank everyone that I have had the pleasure of meeting, and everyone has been so nice that I have learned so much from everyone.
Being here at the State House for the last 6 weeks has been such an awesome experience. I've learned so much and gained such an appreciation for the work you senators do. It's been so amazing to build relationships and make contacts, and I'll never forget this opportunity I've been given.
Thank you so much for letting us come. It was a blast. And thank you so much for all the food and fun activities.
While I have been here, I have learned so much and gained a greater appreciation for all the work you guys do. This has been such an amazing experience, and I will remember this for the rest of my life. I have grown to become a more confident and outgoing person because of the last 6 weeks being a Senate page. This has been a fabulous experience, which I will remember for the rest of my life.
This has been an awesome opportunity, and you all made it even better. I've learned a lot from you, and will miss working here in the Capitol and seeing you every day. I'll be praying for you all. Thanks.
I'm so glad that I've had the amazing opportunity to work in the Senate as a page. It has brought a whole new side to life. I love making all the new friends and learning so much. Thank you.
I am so grateful for this experience and having the opportunities to meet such amazing people. I know I will never forget the last 6 weeks.
could just sing.
Oh yeah, Michael, were you gonna sing for us today? You said you would. We kind of chickened out on it, so he was gonna sing "Living on a Prayer" for you guys, because we know that you guys are living on a prayer every day. Video just has to load for like a second. Try not to make fun of too many people. And we won't post it on Facebook because we know that someone may want to use that against you. So because like the things have to load or it'll stop in the middle. Sorry. It's like these have to load first or it will stop. So when they go away. And we could put the microphone next to the computer. You want to try that? First, see if it Why is that sound not working?
Do we have these turned on?
Yeah, that's not the problem. Probably with, It's okay. I'm going to try booting it and see if it'll work after we restart. Let's restart it. Works out we can probably do it now. We can download and get it into the copy.
Password is I love puppies.
It is. I'm a good puppy.
Well,
When you put audio on that one, there was a mute icon on the top left.
They toggle it back on and off.
No, I didn't see that. Nobody clicked on the mute button. You moved the bar up, but the mute button stayed. It wasn't the vertical. I don't know which one that is, but I saw a mute icon.
well, just play it without sound. We'll just play it without sound for you. And then
So,
we'll,
yeah, I don't know which one that was. But there's
Those were turned on.
When you
Video
push it,
itself.
the front or back? It's the back one. Yes, it is. The front one is a mic. The back one is headphones.
Right, so that's
And these are headphones.
right, that's the right one.
he said back, yeah.
You're saying front.
Well, that's the right place.
This is front. This is back.
Oh, well, I meant no.
That's good.
I know, it's the best part. Just have them speak it. Yes. Okay, so where's Windows 8? So, how do you get to your control panel from here? Oh, that's right.
Before we come back to order, we'll get that video available with the audio. Probably the thing we'll do is we'll have it emailed to my MacBook Air so that we can see it on Apple-related products and won't have the breakdown.
Senate will come to order. Senate's 10th order of business. Senator Fulcher will be recognized this order of business. Senator Davis.
Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent to send in advance to the 14th order of business, resolve itself into the committee of the whole, and the senator from 20 be appointed to take the chair.
Without objection, the Senate will advance to the 14th order of business, and Senator Winder will take the chair subject to, and the Senate will be at ease subject to call of the chair.
I've got. Committee of the whole Senate will come to order. The Secretary will read the list of bills before the committee.
Senate Bill 1003 with one amendment, Senate Bill 1033 with one amendment, Senate Bill 1018 with no amendments.
Committee will now consider amendments to Senate Bill 1003. Be no objection, the bill will be considered read in full. If there's no objection, amendments to Section 3 will be considered read in full.
Moved by Senator Sidaway, seconded by Senator Baer, that the amendment to Section 3 be adopted.
Senator Sidaway is recognized to open debate.
Mr. President, thank you. Senators, we tried this last week when I was in the middle of this, and we found a technical error. But to explain what this amendment does, it takes away some archaic requirements for a non-resident hunting license to be required when using a shotgun or a rifle in the protection of livestock. And good senators, that just isn't the case. There is no license required when in the protection of private property there. And the amendment on the bottom of that part fits more with the total bill in where we're trying to make the youth licenses in a one-stop shop for licensing, and that's what the entire bill has to do with. And we had left this, we didn't strike that language, and this provision in this amendment in this bill will strike the language there, so it'll be congruent with the rest of the bill. With that, Mr. President, debate is open.
Is there debate in opposition? Hearing none, the question is, shall amendment to Section 3 be adopted? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed say nay. Ayes have it. And the amendment to Section 3 is adopted. There being no objection, title be considered read in full.
Moved by Senator Sidaway, seconded by Senator Baer, that the correction to title be adopted.
Senator Sidaway is recognized to open debate. No. You've heard the motion. All in favor of the motion, correction of title, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Ayes have it, and motion carries. Correction to title is adopted.
Mr. Chairman.
Senator Fulcher.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move that when the committee rise, that a report is had under consideration Senate Bill 1003, returned same as amended without recommendation.
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
You've heard the motion. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Ayes have it, and motion carries. Senate will now have under consideration Senate Bill 1033. Being no objection, the bill will be considered read in full. There being no objection, amendment to Section 1 will be read.
Moved by Senator Vick, seconded by Senator Davis, that the amendment to Section 1 be adopted.
Senator Vick is recognized to open debate.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a bill that has to do with conservators and powers of attorney. And on line 22, there was just some concern that the language was not clear. And so some of the experts in this issue got together. They crafted this language regarding the ability of the court to make other rulings about the power of attorneys. The language was actually reviewed by the reporter of the Uniform Act, and who is Professor David English, and they said it fit well with that, so I recommend that we approve this language.
Debate being opened, is there any debate in opposition?
Mr. Chairman, not exactly
Senator Beck.
opposition, clarification.
State your request.
Okay, would the senator from District 2 yield?
Senator from District 2, will you yield?
Thank you. For my clarification, I'm trying to understand what that sentence would read after the change. I guess, is that unless or less? I'm a little confused.
Senator Vick.
Thank you, Senator from 25. Yeah, and that was unclear. The is on line 21, and so it does read unless limited, because all the amendment does is change line 22, and so it does say unless otherwise ordered by the court.
Thank you.
Thank you. I had the same question, and we did get that clarified, and I concur with what he told you in that information. Is there any debate in opposition? Hearing none, the question is, shall amendments to Section 1 be adopted? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Ayes have it, and amendment to Section 1 is adopted. In no objection, title be considered read in full.
Moved by Senator Vick, seconded by Senator Davis, that the correction to title be adopted.
Heard the motion. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. Ayes have it. Motion carries. Senator Fulcher.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move when the committee rise, the report is had under consideration and Senate Bill 1033, return same as amended without recommendation.
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
You've heard the motion. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Ayes have it. Motion carries. And the
Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I move the committee rise and report.
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Moved second, we rise and report. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Committee of the whole be dissolved. You pick up my...
Senate will come to order. Prior to going east, Senate's 14th order of business. Senate's at the 14th order of business. Senator Winder.
Thank you, Mr. President. We, your committee, the whole Senate, beg leave to report that we've had under consideration Senate Bill 1003 and Senate Bill 1033. We further report we've had under consideration Senate Bill 1018. Report progress and beg leave to sit again. Mr. President, I move adoption of the committee report.
Senator Work.
I second the motion.
Been moved and seconded the Senate adopt committee report. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed nay. The ayes have it. The report has been adopted. Senate Bills 1003 and 1033 will be referred to the Judiciary and Rules Committee for engrossing. The amendments thereto will be referred to the Judiciary and Rules Committee for printing. Senate Bill 1018 will retain its place on the 14th order of business. Senator Davis.
Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent Senate return to the 13th order of business.
Objection. The Senate will return to the 13th order of business. Third reading of bills. Senate is at the 13th order of business and has for final consideration House Bill 12 as amended in the Senate. No, that's held to a date certain. Excuse me. The Senate has for final consideration House Bill 19. The Secretary will read the bill.
In the House of Representatives, House Bill number 19 by Transportation and Defense Committee, an act relating to airports, relating to state designation of airports.
Mr. President.
Senator Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. President. I ask unanimous consent that further reading of House Bill 19 be suspended and the journal showed that it's been read the third time at length, section by section, and placed before the Senate for final consideration.
Hearing no objection, Senator Johnson is recognized to open debate.
Thank you, Mr. President. I got caught a little flat-footed there, good senators, but I'll try to pick it up here. This proposal would repeal Section 21 of Idaho Code, state designation of airports. Under the statute, the division is authorized to approve and designate airport sites and issue approval and designation certificates. This requirement is no longer valued because the federal government currently reviews new airport construction proposals under Federal Aviation Regulation Part 157. They further request comments from state and local governments as part of the planning process. They also issue airport certificates under Federal Aviation Regulation Part 139, and they currently maintain the airport master record and publish updated data every 56 days. Repeal of this section would eliminate no value added, burdensome administrative requirements for local airport sponsors and the Idaho Transportation Department Division of Aeronautics. The fiscal impact says there is none, and that's because they rescinded their authority back in the 80s, and they don't have now, and they haven't had for a while, funding to do that. So this is really a cleanup bill, and it makes the rules simpler and administration much simpler. With that, Mr. President, debate is open.
The debate. Hearing no further debate, Senator Johnson is recognized to close debate.
Thank you, Mr. President. Debate is closed.
Debate being closed. Question is, so House Bill 19 passes the Senate. Secretary will call the roll.
Bear. Bayer. Bach. Brackett. Buckner-Webb. Cameron. Davis. Durst. Fulcher. Getty. Guthrie. Hagedorn. Hyder. Hill. Johnson. Kenyon. Keogh. Lacey. Lakey. Lodge. McKenzie. Mortimer. Nonini. Nuxel. Patrick. Pierce. Rice. Schmidt. Sidaway. Stennett. Thane. Tippett. Vick. Work. Winder. Rice.
Roll call shows 34 ayes, no nays, 1 absent, excused, majority having voted affirmative. House Bill 19 is passed the Senate. Are there corrections to the title? Hearing none, title is approved. House Bill 19 will be returned to the House. Senator Davis.
Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent that House Bill 21 hold its place on the calendar for one legislative day. May I explain?
You may, Senator.
Mr. President, Senators, the floor sponsor has an excused absence for this legislative day.
Hearing no objection, House Bill 21 will hold its place in the calendar. Senate now is for final consideration. House Bill 20. The Secretary will read the bill.
In the House of Representatives, House Bill Number 20 by Transportation and Defense Committee, an act relating to the tax on motor fuels, to clarify that refunds apply to gaseous special fuels.
Mr. President.
Senator McKenzie.
I would ask unanimous consent that we dispense with further reading of House Bill 20, but our journal show we did read it the third time at length, section by section, and placed it before the Senate for our final consideration.
Hearing no objection, Senator McKenzie is recognized to open debate.
Thank you, Mr. President. This clarifies two provisions of our fuel tax. Section 1 of the bill clarifies Idaho Code 63-24231, subsection C, which allows a credit for special fuels, which should actually refer to gaseous special fuels. Gaseous special fuels are petroleum products in a gaseous state at room temperature and standard pressure. So at 60 degrees Fahrenheit at standard pressure there, it's in a gaseous form. Special fuels, as we define it, and it goes broader than that, includes diesel fuels and also the gaseous fuels, which would be propane, natural gas, compressed or liquefied gas. Section A and B of this code section relate to the diesel fuel refund, and Section C was intended to pertain to refunds relating to only those gaseous fuels. Users of those fuels pay a fuel tax by purchasing a permit, which is a decal or sticker that they put on the vehicle. The fee set by a schedule based on the weight of the vehicle, and the bill makes a distinction between the filing refund claims for diesel and those special gaseous fuels, which would be the compressed natural gas, propane, liquefied gas. Section 2 of the bill allows that decal to be sold through the tax commission. Currently, a lot of the ones who use that have fleets that they do it, and they sell them only for their fleets. And so this just allows customers to have another source to be able to get those if they use those fuels. It doesn't change any of the existing rates and doesn't impose any new fees. Just gives them another outlet to buy the permit in order to use those fuels. Mr. President, with that, debate is open.
Further debate? Hearing no further debate, Senator McKenzie is recognized to close debate on House Bill 20.
Thank you. Debate's closed.
Debate being closed. Question is, so House Bill 20 passes the Senate. Senator Winder.
Thank you, Mr. President. Asking unanimous consent, the roll call vote used for the passage of House Bill 19 be now used for the passage of House Bill 20.
Hearing no objection, roll call shows 34 ayes, no nays, one absent excused. Majority haven't voted affirmative. House Bill 20 has passed the Senate. There are corrections to the title. Hearing none. Title is approved. House Bill 20 will be returned to the House. Senate now for final consideration. House Bill 24. The Secretary will read the bill.
In the House of Representatives, House Bill number 24 by Revenue and Taxation Committee, an act relating to sales tax revenues used for elections to revise how the increase for inflation will be distributed to counties for costs.
Mr. President.
Senator Sidway.
Thank you, Mr. President. I ask unanimous consent that further reading of House Bill 24 be dispensed with, and the Journal show has been read section by section a third time and has been placed before the Senate for proper consideration.
Hearing no objection, Senator Sidway is recognized to open debate.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senators, this bill is directly tied to House Bill 372 that was passed back in during the 2009 legislation. And if you recall, that legislation had to deal with elections. It set up the dates that set forth which days we could have elections during the year, and it also specified in that legislation that $1.5 million could be spent that first year. And the years following that, the state would fund the county elections by $4.1 million. And that $4.1 million was indexed so that every year that money would go up some. On that original bill, the money was split up two ways. It was split up 1/44 goes to each county because of the 44 counties in the state, and the other half of the money was split up based on population. And since then, the indices, as that pot of money has grown above that $4.1 million, the money that the differential in the money that was allocated then and the money that has grown because of the indexing has been split up on a discretionary move by the tax commission to distribute that based on population and not on the 1/44 as was stated in the original bill. So this goes to codify the action of the tax commission. And they met with all of the counties, and all of the counties agreed to this. This wasn't just discretionary on their behalf. So the counties are behind this, and they're going to use the money now. The indices will be sent out to the counties based on the populations, because they felt like the basic election would be covered on the 1/44 in the smaller counties, and they'd still get that distribution. And then the larger counties where they take, more personnel, more precincts, they would get a larger sum there. So with that, dear senators, the debate is open.
Further debate? Hearing no further debate, Senator Sidway is recognized to close debate.
Mr. President, thanks for the debate. Debate is closed.
Debate being closed. Question is, House Bill 24 passed Senate. Senator Winder.
Thank you, Mr. President. I ask unanimous consent the roll call vote used for the passage of House Bill 19 be now used for the passage of House Bill 24.
Hearing no objection, roll call shows 34 ayes, no nays, 1 absent, excused. Majority having voted affirmative. House Bill 24 is passed the Senate. Are there corrections? Title hearing none. The title is approved. House Bill 24 will be turned to the House. Senator Davis.
Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent that House Bill 25 hold its place on the calendar for one legislative day. May I explain?
You may.
Thank you. The floor sponsor has an excused absence for this legislative day.
Hearing no objection, House Bill 25 will hold its place on the calendar. The Senate now has for final consideration House Bill 52. The Secretary will read the bill.
In the House of Representatives, House Bill number 52 by Revenue and Taxation Committee, an act relating to the circuit breaker
Mr. President.
property.
Senator Work.
Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent that further reading of House Bill 52 be dispensed with. The Senate and the Journal show that it's been read at length a third time and is before the Senate for final consideration.
Hearing no objection, Senator Work is recognized to open debate.
Thank you, Mr. President. Fellow Senators, this House Bill 52 deals with deferred property tax. The legislature a number of years ago passed a program that allows citizens to defer property taxes. It goes as a non-priority lien on the property if you choose to defer your taxes, property taxes. The problem has been that the requirements for that have been fairly unclear. So it's been difficult for people to determine whether or not they can qualify for the program, and hence the program's been very little used. And there are times when people think they qualify and they don't qualify. So there are certain types of encumbrances on property already, like a reverse mortgage. And so what this bill seeks to do is to basically clarify that if you have a reverse mortgage, for instance, you're not going to be able to get involved with this program because the reverse mortgage doesn't allow us to know that we have sufficient equity in the house, in the home that's having deferred taxes. In addition, the bill simplifies how to determine that you have a qualified equity within the home. So we take away some very complicated calculations and basically make it very simple to define that you have enough equity in the home that when we put the lien on the home against the property taxes, that of course the property will have value to be able to pay that back. And basically, it simplifies the program, clarifies things, and hopefully more people will be able to take advantage of it, and more people will be able to understand that they can't take advantage and not apply when they don't really qualify. And with that, Mr. President, debate is open.
Maybe no, is there further debate? Senator Durst.
Mr. President, would the gentleman from, Senator from 17 yield to a question?
Senator Work, would you yield to an inquiry?
Yes, I will.
Senator Durst for the inquiry.
Mr. President, Senator from 17, my question is about those homeowners that may have purchased a home not using a reverse mortgage but find their home what would be described as being underwater, meaning that they've got more owed on their home than their home is valued at. What is these changes due to that circumstance for that homeowner?
Senator Work.
Mr. President, could the good senator repeat his question?
Senator Durst, to repeat the inquiry, if you would.
Mr. President, certainly, Senator from 17, my question is the impact on the language stated here in this legislation for those homeowners that may find that they owe more on their home than the value of their home, given the recent collapse of the real estate market.
Senator Work.
Mr. President, good senator, if the homeowner is not in the deferred property tax program already and is seeking to defer property taxes, my sense is if the house is underwater, then they would not qualify for the program.
Mr. President, should debate the bill.
You have the floor.
Mr. President, I've got serious concerns about this legislation as it relates to those that find themselves in a position where their home, by no fault of their own, is worth less than the mortgage that they hold on it. And I think if you look at the spirit of the original passage of the circuit breaker law, it is to find ways to help elderly folks with limited incomes be able to defer property tax for a period of time. And I'm worried that with the passage of this legislation, we might find folks that otherwise could potentially be qualified will become unqualified from this program and cause an unnecessarily financial hardship upon them. So I'd urge a no vote.
For the debate.
Mr. President, Senators, what this does is if somebody owes more on their home than their home is worth, up to 80% of assessed value, then they're not going to be eligible for the deferred loan. It doesn't affect any of their anything else. They just don't qualify for this program. Thank you, Mr. President.
Further debate? Hearing no further debate, Senator Works recognized closed debate.
Thank you, Mr. President. Debate is closed.
May be closed. The question is, so House Bill 52 passed. Senate Secretary will call the roll.
Baer. Bayer. Bach. Brackett. Buckner Webb. Cameron. Davis. Durst. Fulcher. Getty. Guthrie. Hagedorn. Hyder. Hill. Johnson. Kenyon. Keogh. Lacey. Lakey. Lodge. McKenzie. Mortimer. Nonini. Nuxel. Patrick. Pierce. Rice. Schmidt. Sidaway. Stennett. Thane. Tippett. Vick. Work. Winder. Rice.
Roll call shows 31 ayes, 1 no, 1 absent excuse. Majority having voted affirmative. House Bill 52 has passed the Senate. The correction title. Hearing none, title is approved. House Bill 52 will be returned to the House. Senator Davis.
Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent that the bills in the 13th order of business be reordered as follows, placing Senate bills at the top, followed by House bills, followed by Senate Bill 1042.
Hearing no objection, the third reading calendar will be so reordered. Senator Davis.
Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent Senate return to the fourth order of business.
Without objection, the Senate will return to the fourth order of business. Reading and communications. Senate's at the fourth order of business.
Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent Senate advance to the fifth order of business.
Without objection, Senate advance fifth order of business. Presentations of petitions, resolutions, and memorials. Senator Davis.
President, personal privilege, if I may.
You may.
Mr. President, Senators, we will soon recess to the hour of 4:30 p.m. today. And in a moment, I'll ask for introductions or announcements. I would remind you, however, we are coming up on the transmittal date, not till March the 4th, but just kind of a heads up on the transmittal of Senate bills. So if you've got Senate legislation you desire to have the House consider, remember that the target date for transmittal is March the 4th. Now I ask if there are introductions or announcements.
Announcements. Senator Stennett.
Mr. President, I wanted to invite everyone today. The Idaho Coalition Against Sexual and Domestic Violence invites all of us to join them on the Capitol steps between 12:15 and 12:45. And it's called 1 Billion Rising, and you may have received something in your emails. And it's the largest day in history. It's a global activist movement to end violence against women and girls. And I hope for solidarity that you would show up briefly on the steps and support. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Brackett.
Thank you, Mr. President, for an announcement.
You have the floor.
The announcement is for the Transportation Committee. The vans to go on the 80-county tour will be out in front at 1 o'clock. Thank you, Mr. President.
Further announcements. Senator Fulcher.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members of the majority party, it's our intent to have a caucus immediately or very soon after we come back on the floor today at 4:30.
Winder.
Thank you, Mr. President. I know some of you are interested in the girls' state basketball tournament and also the boys' tournament that will be coming up a little bit later. But we do have tickets available. One ticket per senator. That will allow 2 people in. If you plan on going to both the boys and the girls tournament, just retain your ticket. It's good for both tournaments. And Lizzie Kukla, the administrative assistant in my office right up here, has the tickets, and there's a list you have to sign to acknowledge that you have the tickets. Thank you very much.
Further announcements. Senator Hill.
Mr. President, a reminder to the committee chairs that we have a meeting upon adjournment up in the Majority Caucus Room, and also like to announce, Mr. President, that our President, our Lieutenant Governor, will be celebrating a birthday tomorrow, and I understand he's not going to be here tomorrow, so we're announcing that today and ask you to join us in congratulating him.
Older, but perhaps not wiser. Thank you, Pro Tem. Further announcements?
Mr. President, I move that the Senate recess till the hour of 4:30 p.m. today.
Mr. President, I second the motion.
Been moved and seconded. The Senate recess till 4:30 today. All in favor say aye. All opposed nay. The ayes have it. We are in recess.